Are you struggling with multiple debts and don't know where to start? It's a common concern, but don't despair. There are strategies designed to help you navigate this seemingly overwhelming situation. One of the first steps towards achieving financial freedom is having a solid plan to repay your debts. Without a plan, it's like sailing on a rudderless ship. You're at the mercy of the currents and the winds. In the vast sea of debt repayment strategies, two methods stand out as being particularly effective: the Snowball and Avalanche methods. These techniques, while different in their approach, are both designed to help you systematically eliminate your debts, one at a time. The right method for you depends on your individual circumstances, including your financial goals, your personal motivation, and the specifics of your debts. To make an informed decision, it's essential to understand how each method works, its advantages, and its potential drawbacks. So let's dive in and explore these two powerful debt repayment strategies. First, let's dive into the Snowball Method. What is it exactly? Imagine standing at the top of a snowy hill with a small, compact snowball in your hand. As you roll it down the hill, it gathers more snow and grows larger and larger until it's a massive force to be reckoned with. That's the essence of the Snowball Method, a strategy for paying off your debts from the smallest to the largest. This method begins with you making a list of all your debts in ascending order, from the smallest balance right up to the largest. The idea is to focus all your extra repayment efforts on the smallest debt first, while still making the minimum payments on your other debts. Once the smallest debt is paid off, you take the money you were using for that debt and apply it to the next smallest debt. This creates a snowball effect, where the amount you are putting towards your debts increases as each one is paid off, allowing you to pay off each subsequent debt faster and faster. The Snowball Method is particularly appealing because it offers psychological satisfaction. We all know how good it feels to cross something off a to-do list. Paying off a small debt in full gives you a quick win, a sense of accomplishment that can motivate you to keep going. It's a morale booster, and for those who struggle with maintaining the discipline to pay off debt, this method can be a game changer. The Snowball Method is not just about numbers. It's about building momentum and maintaining motivation. It's about seeing progress, however small, and being inspired to keep pushing forward. It's a method that acknowledges that personal finance isn't just about the math, it's also about the person. While the Snowball Method can provide quick wins, it's not without its downsides, which we'll discuss next. So, is this the best method for you? It depends on your individual circumstances and mindset, but one thing is for sure: the Snowball Method can turn a seemingly insurmountable mountain of debt into a series of manageable, surmountable hills. So, what are the benefits and potential drawbacks of the Snowball Method? The Snowball Method, like a snowball rolling down a hill, starts small and gains momentum. This debt repayment strategy capitalizes on quick wins to motivate you to keep going. The psychological boost that comes from paying off a debt, regardless of its size, can be a powerful motivator. As you eliminate each debt, your confidence grows, your momentum builds, and you feel more and more capable of tackling the next debt on the list. Another major advantage of the Snowball Method is its simplicity. You list your debts from smallest to largest, then focus on paying off the smallest debt while making minimum payments on the rest. The process is straightforward and easy to follow, making it an ideal strategy for those who prefer a clear step-by-step plan. But like any strategy, the Snowball Method isn't without its potential drawbacks. The most notable is the possibility of paying more interest over time. In the Snowball Method, the interest rate of each debt is not factored into the repayment plan. This means you could end up paying off a smaller debt with a low interest rate, while a larger debt with a high interest rate continues to accrue interest. Over time, this could result in paying more interest than you would with a strategy that prioritizes high-interest debt. Another potential downside is that the Snowball Method requires discipline. Despite the motivation that comes from quick wins, you must remain committed to the plan, even when the debts start to get larger. If you lose momentum, the snowball could start to shrink, slowing your progress towards a debt-free life. In summary, the Snowball Method offers a motivational and simple approach to debt repayment. However, it could result in paying more interest over time and requires a high level of discipline. Now that we've got a handle on the Snowball Method, it's time to discuss another popular strategy, the Avalanche Method. Now let's shift our focus to the Avalanche Method. How does it work? In the world of debt repayment strategies, the Avalanche Method stands as a compelling approach. Unlike the Snowball Method, which we discussed earlier, the Avalanche Method doesn't focus on the size of the debt, but rather the interest rate attached to it. Picture an avalanche. It starts from the top of the mountain and works its way down. This is exactly what you do. using the Avalanche Method. You start by listing all your debts, from the one with the highest interest rate to the one with the lowest. Your goal is to tackle the debt with the highest interest rate first, regardless of the actual size of the debt. Why, you might ask? The answer lies in the mathematics of compound interest. The higher the interest rate, the more your debt grows over time. By focusing on the debt with the highest interest rate, you essentially stop the most aggressive debt from growing larger. Each month, you'll make the minimum payment on all your debts. However, any additional money you have goes towards the debt with the highest interest rate. Once that debt is paid off, you move on to the next highest interest rate and so on. Like an avalanche, you start from the top and steadily make your way down. The beauty of the Avalanche Method is that it can save you money in the long run. By tackling the highest interest rates first, you minimize the amount of interest you'll pay over the life of your debts. It's a strategy that appeals to the logical, numbers-focused part of our brains. However, it's important to note that the Avalanche Method requires discipline and patience. It may not provide the quick wins that the Snowball Method does, but it can be more financially beneficial over time. The Avalanche Method can save you money in the long run, but it also has its own set of advantages and disadvantages. So, what are the benefits and potential drawbacks of the Avalanche Method? Let's dive in. First, the benefits. The Avalanche Method could save you a significant amount of money in the long run. How? By tackling the debt with the highest interest rate first, you're reducing the amount of interest you'll pay over the lifetime of your debts. And who wouldn't want to keep more money in their pocket? Another advantage is that it can decrease the overall time to become debt-free. This is because as you eliminate the debt with the highest interest rate, you're freeing up more money to put towards your other debts. It's a snowball effect, but in reverse. As you knock out those high-interest debts, the rest should fall like dominoes. But, as with any strategy, there are potential drawbacks to consider. The Avalanche Method requires a strong sense of discipline. It's not always easy to stick to the plan, especially when it might feel like you're not making a dent in your highest interest debt. But remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Additionally, it may take longer to see the first debt completely paid off, especially if your highest interest debt is also one of your largest. This can be discouraging for some. We all like to see progress, and the Avalanche Method may not give you that immediate satisfaction of paying off a debt. But here's the thing. Personal finance is just that, personal. What works for one person might not work for another. The Avalanche Method is just one tool in your financial toolbox. It's a strategy that values logic and math, but it also requires patience and perseverance. Both methods have their merits and drawbacks. Your choice depends on your personal financial situation and mindset. So, whether you're a snowballer or an avalancher, the most important thing is to find a strategy that works for you and stick with it. After all, the best debt repayment strategy is the one you can commit to. In conclusion, both the snowball and avalanche methods can be effective ways to tackle debt. Let's revisit the highlights. The snowball method, which involves paying off debts from the smallest to the largest, can offer quick wins and boost motivation. However, it may result in paying more interest over time. On the flip side, the avalanche method, paying off debts with the highest interest rates first, can save you money in the long run, but may require more patience as progress may seem slower. The key takeaway here is that there's no one-size-fits-all strategy. It's crucial to evaluate your own financial situation, your personality, and your motivation levels. Some may thrive on the quick victories of the snowball method, while others may prefer the long-term savings of the avalanche method. Remember, the best debt repayment strategy is the one that you will stick to. Take the time to consider your options and make an informed decision that fits your financial goals.